Hey guys, Richard Trujillo here with RC4WD, and today I'm going to offer a tech tip on how to add a little more detail to your K5 Blazer. So, obviously when you get that Blazer body kit, you'll see all the highly detailed parts that we did. We've got the hinges, the interior, we've got all the chrome bumpers, the trim, I mean everything. We really wanted to make this thing super detailed. Well, one of the things that personally drives me nuts is when I see everybody build these things, but then they don't take that last step of adding the black inside the grille to make it look more like a one-to-one vehicle. And there's definitely a whole bunch of different options on how to do this, but this is the way I do it. So here's the first step. Here's what you're going to need. You're going to need the K5 Blazer grille to get started. This is what we're going to be painting, and this is going to be doing all the cool detail stuff. I'll show you some little trick tips on this. You're going to need an X-Acto knife or a hobby knife. You'll need some tape. I'm using the Tamiya body mask type tape. You can use Home Depot masking tape or other types of masking tapes that are out there, but I found this to be the best when you're trying to make sure you get a clean line. Play-Doh. Yes, I know you're wondering what the heck do I need Play-Doh for? I'll show you here in a second, but if you have access to it or if you have kids, somebody's got to have some. You just need a very small amount. A can of flat black paint. I use the Tamiya stuff. Sprays out really well. And it really works with this process that I'm going to be doing. And finally, you're going to need a Goo Gone or some type of non-acetone nail polish remover. That's going to be used to help clean up the chrome part and get the paint off of the areas that we don't want it. And actually, one more thing that's going to help is you're going to need a rag. Any type of rag is going to be fine. We're going to use this to apply the Goo Gone on to get some of this paint off. So let's move on to the next step. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to mask off the areas that we don't want to paint black. Make sure that you're careful about applying that tape and you're putting it down so that there's no bubbles or little air pockets underneath, because that's where you're going to have bleed throughs. So let's get that done first. Alright, so like we said, the first thing you want to do is apply the mask to the area that you don't want to paint. Just take your time with doing it, making sure it's kind of lined up. Get it on there, lay it down. Perfect. Use as many pieces as you need. Sometimes you want to do it in smaller sections at a time so you can make sure that you get it in the exact spot that you want to mask. Trying to use big pieces at a time kind of makes that a little bit on the difficult side. Alright, so we've got it all masked off like we were talking about, and now the Play-Doh. You're probably wondering, what the heck are you using the Play-Doh for? Well, I found that using the Play-Doh packed into the light bucket itself will allow you to mask it off and keep that area chrome. Trying to use masking tape and get it all perfect without having any bleed throughs is a pain in the butt. So if you use a little bit of Play-Doh, it's water soluble, it doesn't stick to anything, the paint is fine once you spray it over it. All you do is you just dab a little bit in there, get it to cover up the light bucket area that you want to cover, and then you can spray right over it. Alright, so now we're going to open up our Play-Doh. You want to take a small piece and you're going to use this to roll it up into a little ball, and you're going to use this to plug the light bucket. So it's going to be kind of a little bit of a challenge the first time because you have to try and get the right size. Obviously this is too much, so go ahead and take a piece off and we'll go ahead and pop this back in there and see if it's just the right size. So really all you're doing is you're just adding this in there just to kind of add as a masking for the light bucket. Trust me, it's way easier than trying to use tape. It's a lot quicker. Alright, we've got it all masked up and ready to go. I'm going to step outside, hit it with some paint. We'll be back to show you what we need to do next. Alright, now that we've got it all painted up, you can see it's still a little bit on the wet side. What you're going to do is you're going to take your rag, let it soak into the rag a little bit, and then you just want to wipe. As you can see, just wipe the tops of the grill off. Now after we take the mask off, you'll still be able to touch it up a little bit more. But for now, just to kind of make it a little bit easier, you want to get as much of it off as you can before the paint dries. Again, don't worry about the badge. You'll be able to go back through here and clean it up. Alright, so now flip it over. Take your hobby knife and just go ahead and poke the Play-Doh out. If it doesn't come out too easily, you may want to pick it out from the other side. So usually it'll just pop out the other side, but as you can see, the chrome is still clear, and now we're going to go ahead and take the tape off the rest of it. So again, when you take a look at this thing, you'll take a closer look as you're peeling the mask off. You're going to want to touch it up. Take a little bit more off of the areas that maybe you don't want some paint. But as you can see now, you have a nice chrome grille with the black inserts painted. So like I said, you just want to take a little bit after you've taken the mask off. You can use some Q-tips, you can use a little brush if you need to. Sometimes in a really tight area, you can use a pick that's not too sharp, maybe an old, like a toothpick. You can use that to kind of get some of the black that's still in the tight little crevices that you may not want to have it. But as you can see, now we've got our chrome grille. It's got the extra detail in it. It just provides that extra scale look to it. It's more like a realistic vehicle. Hope you like this tip and check back more for more.